Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. Hope you are good. Today our unit is past ability. So let's learn what is past ability and where we use past ability. Okay. Now past ability. Ability means power to do something. Power to do something. Power to do something. But power to do something in past time. Okay, the action which you can do, but in past time, which is your ability, which is your skill in past time. So power to do something in a past time, because this is past ability. As in last video lecture we have done present ability. Present ability means the ability of something in present time, and for that we use can. What was the can was the model verb for present ability. Today our unit is past ability. So for past ability we use subject, and with the subject we use could. Okay, and with could we use the first form of verb and object. Okay, now could is used for past ability. Could is a model verb which is used for past, which shows your ability but in past time. Okay, for example, I could ride a bicycle in 2010. I could ride a bicycle in 2010. It means that this was my ability. Riding bicycle was my ability in past time. Mean nowadays I cannot ride bicycle, but this was my ability in 2010. I could ride a bicycle when I was 10 years old, when I was 15 years old. Okay, easy. Now he could speak Urdu when he was 10 years old. He could speak Urdu when he was 10 years old. The sentence means that this was speaking Urdu was his ability in past time, in when he was 10 years old. So this was his ability, his skill. Okay. Now we could play cricket in 2015. Now we could play cricket in 2015. It means that nowadays we cannot play cricket. Okay, we don't have the skill. But when we were young, when we were 18 years old, 17 years old, or 15 years old, so we could play cricket. Or I will give you an easy example. For example, your father. Now your father is almost 60 or 5, for example, years old. Okay, and now, okay, he cannot play cricket, but this was his ability in 2005 or 2002 or 2001. Okay, that your father could play football. Your father could play football when he was, you can show time, or you can say in 2002. In 2002, this was your father's ability, but now he is old, he cannot play. He cannot play football, he cannot run. But when he was young, when he was 10 years old, when he was 15 years old, when he was 20 years old, so that time this was his skill, this was his ability, this was his power. So we can use could. So could is used for ability, but could is used for past ability. Okay, if your ability that is in present time, so we use can. I can teach English, but I couldn't teach English when I was 10 years old. Okay, I could not teach English when I was 10 years old. That time this was not my skill, this was not my ability, this was not my power when I was 10 years old. That time that was not my ability. But I could speak English when I was 15 years old, when I was 20 years old. But I could not teach English that time. Now this is my power in present time. So I'll say I can teach English, I can speak English, but I could not teach English when I was in metric or when I was 10 years old or when I was 15 years old. That time it was not my ability, so I can make a negative sentence. Could not, couldn't. I couldn't speak English. I couldn't teach English when I was 10 or 12 or 15 years old. Okay. Now, how to ask question? It is very easy to ask question. Only could will come first. The helping verb could will come first. The modal verb could will come first. For asking question, okay, for example, I'm asking you, could you teach, okay, English when you were 10 years old? Years old. Could you teach English when you were 10? For example, now you are a teacher, you can teach English. But for example, in 2010 or in 2008, you were 10 years old or 15 years old. That time you could not teach. So I asked you, could you teach English when you were 10 years old? So you said, no, sir, I couldn't. No, I couldn't. No, I couldn't. Okay. I can ask another question. Could you run fast or could you run when you were 2 years old? No, sir, I couldn't. In that time, this was not your ability. Okay? So you say, no, sir, I couldn't. I couldn't walk. I couldn't run when I was 2 years old. Okay? In that time, it was not my skill, my power, my ability. Okay? So I can ask Ravi's question now. If you could not teach English, what could you do? What could you do when you were 10 years old? 10 years old. What could you do when you were 10 years old? So you can answer like this. Sir, I could ride a bicycle. I could speak Urdu. I could speak Pashto. I could walk. I could go to school. Okay, so you can answer me like this. I could ride a bicycle. Okay, when I was 10 years old. So it is very easy. Whenever you talk about your past ability, your past skills, when you were a child, when you were 10 years old, 15 years old, so you will simply use could, and the could you will use first form of verb. Okay? Hope you understood this unit. See you inshallah in the next unit. Allah Hafiz.